This is new platform. I'm on his channel on his YouTube.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
make sure y'all subscribe, man. My man doing big
Subscribe.
things
Hit
on
that
there.
button. We live on YouTube right now too.
Wow. See?
Okay. We
See
live
that?
on both. We live on both.
We live on both.
We live
So
on
with
both.
the champ, so yeah, back like what we were saying, you know, give them a little rundown, your background, where you're from.
I'm from here, baby. I'm from here.
Okay, we from
K3. K3, born and raised.
Okay.
You know, starting the channel up and everything, it was really from people pressuring me. You know what I'm saying? People just really pushing me to get the channel started, because a lot of people, you know, they didn't know, they had no idea how much history I knew. I just kept it.
You kept it a secret.
I just kept it a secret, man. It wasn't really a secret. It was just like, you know, I didn't want to be walking around like, hey, man, in 1853 this happened. In 1783 that happened. You know, when you do that, yeah, you know what I'm saying. You look like a know-it-all. You look like a know-it-all.
Okay.
You can come off the wrong way. So it was just a lot of it was my entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like I was always intrigued with our history. So that was, and it was a guy that I worked with. It was an elderly guy who was always pushing me, man. You ever had that person where, like, every time you see him, you know you're gonna say the same thing? So it got to a point where, like I couldn't stand to see this dude coming, because I knew he was gonna get on me, like, you know what I'm saying? When you gonna start doing this, start doing that?
Right.
So, like, every time I see him, I'm like, man, here he come with this. And so what happened, you know, I read like 40, 50 books a year, mostly pertaining to our history.
Wait,
And-
hold on. You read 40 to 50 books a year?
Yep. About 40 to 50 a year.
Reading is fundamental.
Yeah.
Reading is fundamental.
Yeah. I mean, that's, if I'm not working out, if I'm not training, if I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Basically, my free time, just, it goes to reading.
You're a tough nerd. You're a tough nerd. See, look, we had a cool nerd on. Jay called himself a cool nerd.
So
I'm a swaggy nerd. You know what I'm saying? But that's all good. No, go ahead, no, man, that's cold.
It goes to reading. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't watch a lot of TV. I watch sports, but
Okay,
it mostly just goes to my reading. And so, you know, I had a guy just kept pressing it, and my justification for, basically, I was on BS. You know, I should have been done the channel. I was just like, man, I ain't no teacher, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not a teacher. And he really made me feel bad, because he said something that just really stuck out to me. And he said, so what you gonna do with all this information? So what you gonna do with all this knowledge? You just gonna take it to the grave?
Ooh,
And I'm like, wow, yeah.
Shout out to the old school.
Yeah.
That was dope.
And I'm like, wow, like it really hit me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, it blew my mind. And he told me, he was like, you know, you're doing your people a disservice by not putting that information out there.
You know,
so I felt bad.
My sentiments that I've been preaching the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's confirmation that we are doing something right, bro. All right, continue on.
So I felt bad. So that's what prompted me to get the channel going. And the channel right now, I'm at about 88,000 subscribers. Less than 2 years. So it's one of the fastest growing channels on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't watched my videos, I got two screens here. I'm live on YouTube, and we got the Facebook going. But if you haven't watched my videos, if you haven't watched the channel, go check it out. I promise you won't be disappointed. Now, what I do is different from most, because I add, it's like a hip hop feel to it. So I add music to it. It's a lot of narration over pictures and video clips, overlays, different stuff like that. So, because originally I was just going to have it kind of just sit there, just looking at you through the screen with a book, maybe reading. But I'm like, that's kind of boring. And a lot of people do it like that. I mean, no knock to those brothers. If, you know, that's the way you do your channel, then, you know, it is what it is. But no knock to them. But that's the way I didn't want to do it that way. So I'm like, I want to switch it up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because there's some guys, there's some big channels with, you know, guys who do it like that. They got more subscribers than me. 200,
So
300,
we gonna talk
400,000. No, I'm good right here.
We gonna you know.
But speaking of those channels real quick, a lot of these people took a lot of my information, and they know they have. A lot of them took a lot of my information. A lot of those bigger channels took my information.
Oh, so they
and
bite.
they know who they are. They know who they are.
So they bite.
Absolutely.
They bite your style.
Because I'm gonna tell you, like, I have information that I put out there, and I got receipts. Anything I say, I got receipts to it. I got information that I put out there, which I was the first that put it out there.
True that.
You couldn't Google the information before I put it out there. The only way you could find that information was through various books, like a lot of Bumpy Johnson information.
Yeah, I watched that one.
You watched that one, and that that was my first
early.
Yeah, and that was my first video. I know the audio was bad. It's kind of low, but I was the first. You know what I'm saying? To put actually Professor James Smalls. There's a video where he kind of speaking on it for maybe about I don't know a minute between the relationship between Malcolm and Bumpy Johnson.
Okay.
So, but I actually put you know what I'm saying a story out there. And yeah, before my information, you couldn't Google it. You couldn't Google it. Like there was nothing on the internet. There was definitely nothing on YouTube. Now, if you go on YouTube now, type in Bumpy Johnson, Malcolm X, you got like 100 videos pop up. But show me one video that has an earlier date than the video I put out. You know what I'm saying? There is none. I was the first person to put that information out there. And then, it's like, later on, a year, some change later on, whatever, here comes a TV show. So it's like, it make you wonder, like, dang, like, where they get that information from? Where they get that from?
Buy your material, and then they
I can't prove it. I can't prove it. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of bigger channels with certain things that I put out. Nobody put out before I put that information out. Not just the Bumpy information, but other information. Nobody had that info before I put it out there. And what I did with the Malcolm and Bumpy situation, I just took, the information was through various books. Okay. So I took, something that was on a page here, something that was on a page there, and I just combined it, various things. I combined into one, and then I just put it together. I know the video is trash, the audio bad.
It was early.
First video.
It was early, but I've been watching the other ones, and it's very, very dope, like what you're doing.
Yeah.
That shit cold.
I appreciate I appreciate that.
I'll be tuning in a lot.
Yeah.
I'll be at work bored.
Yeah.
Get something.
Yeah.
You hit me.
I like to put the information out there in a entertaining type of way.
Yeah.
And like I like to use that phrase edutainment. I didn't create that. I don't know who that belongs to. Edutainment. You know what I'm saying? So
like education and entertainment.
Absolutely. So when you watch my video, you watch my videos, you're gonna be entertained.
Okay.
So.
And get some information.
You're gonna gain a lot of information off it. And one thing that I do, I love to give book references. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm pointing you in the right direction and I'm giving you the book reference, now it's your job to go find the information. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you in it, I'm giving you a little bit there.
Right, you ain't reading the book to him.
No, I'm not reading it to him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I give another thing that's that makes me different from a lot of channels is I give so many book references. You know what I'm saying? I probably think I've gave out more than 500 book references, and I don't see other channels doing that. I don't see other historians doing that same thing. A lot of historians, they have this concept of they want to be the smartest in the room type of thing. They want to, they give you the information, but they won't tell you where to go find it at. But they'll give you the information, and they don't give
that's what separates you from everybody.
Yeah. I won't say from everybody because other people do. Yeah, but I will say this: nobody gives more book references than I do. That's a fact. 100%. That's a fact. Nobody tells their subscribers more, how to find this information than I do. That's a fact.
Okay.
So
well,
I'll definitely say I'm number one in that category.
Okay. So. Okay, you read 40 to 50 books a year.
Right.
Okay, let's do this. Let me ask you these.
Let's unpack it.
Okay.
Let's unpack it.
So what's your go-to book?
Ooh.
That you like I'm always gonna read this book.
Man. I would say Chancellor Williams, The Destruction of the Black Civilization. I don't really have a favorite book.
See, I was gonna ask you, what's your top 5?
Okay, but see, it's different categories though, right? Because it's like, what would be my top 5 as far as entertainment? What would be my top 5 as far as most important? Or my top 5 as far as, informative? So, I mean, I don't know. But I would say,
it's a lot of fucking books.
Okay, I would say this. I would say it's a book called Stolen Legacy by, I think, George M. James. The Destruction of the Black Civilization by Chancellor Wilson. They came before Columbus, which is about us. They came before Columbus, by Ivan Van Sertima. I would say The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander. Is that 5? I would say
I think that's fine.
Carter G. Woodson's The Miseducation of the Negro. I would say those are the 5 most. Those books right there should be in every black household. Those books should be mandatory. Hands down, those books should be mandatory in every black household. In my opinion. I mean, I don't have any statistical breakdown on what it should be.
Okay.
In my opinion, I think those should definitely be in every household. And I'm gonna add another one, The Invisible War. This will give you a lot of information about the Gullah Wars, about the anti-slavery resistance from which started in Florida, and basically about what took in far as setting us free. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Not what they told us in school, not through school's curriculum.
So,
but let's unpack it. Let's unpack it. Let's start.
You're like a history teacher, just without it.
I don't have a degree, but you know what?
But you don't need that to teach.
Bruh, I get bombarded with, history teachers, history, all kind of history people.
Okay.
Sending me emails. I mean,
They
bruh,
coming to you.
all kind of history people. I've given advice to so many people who get paid to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
this is just something I do. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Cash App up because you can get
yeah.
paid.
Cash app. My Cash app is what is my Cash
What's your
app?
Cash
Boom
app?
Boom TG. Boom Boom TG. Which is Nico Jefferson. Every now and then, my subscribers they throw me a little something. And another thing I do, I show them a paper trail of what I actually purchased with their money. You know what I'm saying? So like
So you're a righteous Negro.
look, bro. Another thing, a lot of YouTubers do.
What they do? Oh,
A lot of
what they do with their
YouTubers,
money, baby?
they shame people into sending them donations. They shame them, and they get their donations and they take vacations with their donations. I don't do that. You send me your money, I show you exactly what I did. I show you what book I purchased. I show you what it was. So if you send me something, no donation is too small.
Righteousness.
It is what it is.
No,
So,
that's all good. That's all good.
but that's what it is.
Okay, so all right, say we talking about what people actually. Okay, like we put it up early.
Okay.
So those some of the questions.
Oh, the first what was the first
The first one was
the war on drugs.
the war on drugs. They asked you about that. So you read a book on that,
I read several books on that.
and you got that on your channel.
Absolutely. I actually did a video about the war on drugs. Now the war on drugs.
War on drugs. Frequently
Okay.
asked questions.
Okay, let's
from
unpack.
people.
Let's unpack the war on
unpack.
black people because that's what it was.
That's what it was.
Now, during the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the go-to job for the black man was the factory job. You know what I'm saying? In a blink of an eye, a lot of the jobs were ripped out of the black community and they gave us crack. You know what I'm saying? So if they, you take away a man's ability to feed his kids. If you strip a man, take away his resources and his ability to feed his kids, what you think he's gonna do? If you take away my resources and you give me crack,
You're gonna
use it, you're gonna sell it.
You're gonna do it.
Something's gonna happen because the thing
you gotta
is,
survive.
absolutely,
Your gonna kick in.
you're a father. You're a father. If you can't legally make money, if you can't do it legally, what you gonna do?
I'm gonna find a way.
You're gonna find a way because your kids gonna eat regardless, right?
Yes.
By any means necessary, my kids will eat. So
that's totally fact.
absolutely. So if I can't legally make money, bro, I'm committing crimes. Like it's as simple as that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a law-abiding citizen. But if I can't legally make money, my kids gonna eat. So I'm gonna have to do something for my kids to eat. So if you took away my ability to make legal money and you gave me crack, like I'm not gonna smoke it, you know what I'm saying? But if I can profit off of this, I'm gonna try to make some money.
Sure.
And these times, a lot of brothers, they didn't have adequate transportation, they didn't have adequate education. So a lot of those jobs, that's how they ate. That's they needed that.
True.
So when they took that away, and they give you crack, like Come on, man, that was strategic. And none of this is not speculation. I mean, you got people like Gary Webb. Like I want people to research Gary Webb, who Gary Webb was.
Gary Webb.
Gary Webb.
Y'all get your pens and pads out.
Yeah, do that. Please get your pen and pad out.
Pens and pads. He got book references. He got names.
Absolutely.
Give it
Absolutely.
to you.
Anything I say, please research it. Gary Webb, he wrote an article called Dark Alliance, and he put everything in there, man. How they strategically flooded the community with crack. You know what I'm saying? And what came with that was a lot of it was like a 900% increase in the prison population due to what happened?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Timeline.
Yeah.
Took away the jobs, gave us crack, and now the prisons are packed.
Absolutely.
Right.
And so when that happens, the black family is destroyed because a lot of these brothers. And another thing, you remember Whitney Houston was like I don't smoke crack. Crack is cheap. Crack is whack, right? Yeah. I make too much money to ever crack, right?
True that.
So for whether it was cocaine or crack, for the same drug, but depending on how you smoke it, depending on how you use it, mattered what was the difference between your sentence. So cocaine was more of the white folks drug. Crack was more of the black folks drug. If you get caught with crack, bruh,
Slammy.
repeat offenders was getting life sentences. You got brothers right now to this day from the 80s who still locked up because of that. They still locked up right now because of that. From the 80s, from the 90s, and they still locked up. So, and white folks was getting caught with it. Slap on the wrist. It was the same drug.
They go to rehab.
It's the same drug. Now, right now, you have this opioid epidemic. They call this an epidemic or a crisis.
It's murder.
But just
With the crack era, they didn't call it an epidemic. They didn't call it a crisis. It was a war on drugs.
War on drugs.
So right now, with 50 and 60,000 deaths per year, with the vast majority of those deaths being white people, Congress spent millions of dollars on drug treatment facilities. Why we couldn't get no drug treatment facilities? You know what I'm saying? Y'all threw us in prison. Y'all threw the man in prison, and y'all left the families to die. We didn't. They put out a statement saying that they care more about the treatment over the incarceration. But y'all was throwing us to the, you know what I'm saying? Y'all put us away. There's brothers that still locked up. There's more white drug dealers, and a lot of people don't know that. There's more white drug dealers. There's more white drug users. You know what I'm saying? But there's no war on drugs when it came to white people. So a lot of this stuff is very strategic, man. You got the New York stop and frisk, right? 90% of those stop and frisk were on black people. 90% of them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So they put certain laws and certain things in place like that, you know what I'm saying, which affects the community. And then when once you get a record, and you know what I'm saying, like I said, you have repeat offenders who got brothers locked up for life. There's people that's doing life sentences for repeat offenses for crack, man. Life sentences, like they locked up. So, that played a major part in our destruction. And honestly, like we still haven't recovered from the crack era. We still haven't recovered from the crack era. No. You know what I'm saying? You got
like you said, it's still people who still locked up from the
bruh,
80s.
still locked up.
From the 80s.
Still locked up. You know what I'm saying? You got a child without his father is 5 times more likely to be poor. You know what I'm saying? Twice as likely to end up in to drop out of school or end up in foster care or some type of juvenile justice facility.
True that.
So yes, it was very strategic. And then now they care a lot about the users now. Now it's all about the users. It's we want to build these treatment facilities. We want these people to we want to clean them up. We want to do this. We want to do that. But come on, man, they threw us to the garbage, man.
That's true, bro. That's all the way fact.
Yeah.
That's all the way fact. Okay, so that's one. The war on drugs. That's one you get frequently asked about. Second one is, are we from Africa?
Okay.
Are we really from Africa?
Okay. This one, are we from Africa?
Come on.
Are we
Come on.
from Africa? We about to unpack it. Are we from Africa?
It's two, y'all. Two questions he frequently asks.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. We are indigenous to the planet, everywhere. The first Asiatic people were us. The first Asiatic people were us. There's people over in Asia right now who have the Asian phenotype with our skin color, our hair texture. Like, they can grow dreads, bruh. They can grow dreads, but they look like Asians, but they got our skin color. You know what I'm saying? Right now, brothers darker than you over there. You look at some of those old statues, they have our features.
True.
They got big nose, they got big lips, they got, you know what I'm saying, our facial structures. They got you know, and these are some of, you know, their oldest statues and monuments and stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying, we were the first Asiatic people, that's a fact. That's a fact. Whether you want to go, whatever you want to say behind that, you know what I'm saying? The white man science, the black man science, whoever, that's a fact. We were the first Europeans. The first, is it Grimaldi or Grimaldi? I think it's Grimaldi. The first Grimaldi people were the first Europeans. These were black people. We were the first Europeans. And yeah, look this up. And this was,
Look this up.
Please look this up. Look it up.
Let's
The
go.
first Grimaldi people were the first Europeans, which was us. We were black. Like I said, please go read The Destruction of Black Civilization. Go read Stolen Legacy. Go read They Came Before Columbus. Were we here first? Yes, that's a fact. Were we in Africa first? Yes, that's a fact. We are indigenous to the planet. I don't know why you know, we get so caught up in no, don't you have some people who say
Right on, Bone.
none of us come from Africa. None of us. We don't come from. Let me say this. In the early, you have people, documentation. You have people like Phyllis Wheatley, who was the first black person to get a book published. This was in the 1700s. She wrote about her experiences on the ships. She wrote about her experiences. You gonna deny her documentation? She wrote about it. It's documented. You got people like I think it's Martin Delaney. Yeah, Martin Delaney, book from the early 1800s. Like there's documentation that's very consistent with you know what I'm saying, everything I'm talking about. So and these are people who wrote about their experiences. In the 1700s, you had the Free African Society. You had the Free African Union Society. This is the 1700s. You had what is his name? I'm trying to think. I got a brain fart. But anyway, there's documentation. There's so much documentation out there. People ask about, because a lot of people, you know, and this is the question that I want people to understand, right? If we were on every inch of this planet, what makes you think we wasn't in Africa? We was everywhere. Yes, we are indigenous to this land in America. We are. We was the first people. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. We was the first people. That's a fact.
Right on.
So to say none of us came from Africa, that's completely inaccurate. That's completely inaccurate. And you know, I think a lot of times people get caught up in because a lot of people, when they take that stance on, no, we're not from Africa, they come off very like in a superior type of way instead of in a way of you know, having this dialogue, having the type of conversation that's needed. You know, like, it don't have to be a debate. We could talk about factual things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got people like did I mention the Free African Union Society? You know, if these people, this is the 1700s, this is the people who wrote about their experiences and stuff like that. Why wouldn't they say that, you know, we didn't come from Africa? Why would they say they did when they didn't?
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of documentation out there. People ask about the slave ships. People say, okay, how come there's no slave ships? Where's the slave ships? you researched it? Or did you see that shit on a meme and then you just like, okay, ain't no slave ships? You know what I'm saying? Did you see hear somebody say, there's plenty of...
It's going to be the sound bites and the memes that they going to use because nobody like to dig for nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it takes time, because you actually have to research it. There's plenty of slave ships. You got the Colado slave ship. You got the Jubilee. You got the San Juan or something like that. You got the Henrietta Marie. I think it's Henrietta Marie. They got artifacts at the Smithsonian. There's artifacts right here in America at the Smithsonian. Right here. You know what I'm saying? Hop on a flight, go over there.
Yeah.
It's right there. So we have artifacts. Then when people talk about where's the slave ships from, a lot of that transportation was eliminated in, the 1700s, right? So you got people looking for the slave ships from the 1700s. Garvey, the Black Star Line, ended in the 1920s. Where Garvey ships at? We don't know where Garvey ships at. So if we can't find Garvey ships from the 1920s, how are we gonna find some ships from the 1700s? You know what I'm saying? Garvey was the 1920s. Garvey, that wasn't very long ago. You know what I'm saying? But show me some artifacts from Garvey ships. You know what I'm saying? Like, where they at? So we got to be realistic when we say stuff like that. And you have to do the research. Do the research, man. There's documentation out, like Stolen Legacy, the destruction of the black civilization. I'm gonna keep naming these books because I don't want people to forget.
Okay. They
came before Columbus. All this documentation is there. It's all there. Look up the documentation.
Okay.
So when people say none of us at all, completely at all, came from Africa, all these people was. Look it up. The first Europeans was us. The first Asian people was us. The first, you know what I'm saying, quote unquote Hispanics, who wasn't technically Hispanics at the time, were us. You know what I'm saying? Even, when we speak about the people, like, I mentioned Hispanics, you got, because a lot of people, they have this misconception too. You got the Brazilian people, the Puerto Rican people, the Dominicans, the Cuban people. Mm-hmm. You can't be these people without being black. You have to be Puerto Rican. You got to be Taino Indian. It was the Taino Indians, the Portuguese, and the oh my God, I'm having a brain fart. Taino Indians, the Portuguese, and the Africans.
Take your time, my brother.
Take
your time.
Like, you have to have all three to be Puerto Rican. You got to have all three. I made a video about this too. Same thing with Dominicans. Mm-hmm. Same. You got a lot of these Dominicans who they don't think they're black, and then people will say like, oh, if you go ask the Dominicans, they black. They'd be like, bruh, you got black people who don't want to be black. You know what I'm saying? So because you know a Dominican, or if you've seen a Dominican, deny his blackness, you got black people who don't want to be black.
That's true.
So does that make you not who you are because that's not who you want to be? We got that over here. You got coons everywhere.
Oh.
You got coons everywhere. Everywhere. You got coons everywhere. Okay,
I like that.
To answer that, but we're indigenous to the planet. Like I don't get so caught up in no, we come from here. No, we come from there. Bruh, we're native to the planet. Okay. We're native to the planet.
That's true.
And there's documentation to back that. We're native to the planet. You know what I'm saying? There's documentation from the 1700s, from the 1800s that backs up that claim. Mm-hmm. Like I said, people wrote about their experiences. It's documented, man.
Okay. All right. So the next question. This the one when you told me about this question. That you get frequently.
Mm-hmm.
Who really? Yeah, shout out to you. Hey, Jeff, shout out to you with the fly above it. You know what I'm saying? We go.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Look, who really killed Brother Malcolm?
Okay.
Because I want to know who really killed. I seen the Netflix special.
Right.
So
and it was dope.
I'm on leaning that way. I got my conspiracy theory. You know what I'm saying? Who?
Okay.
Give me that.
Malcolm, right?
Brother Malcolm.
Let's just talk only facts. Only facts. I'm not gonna add my own spin on nothing. No speculation. No what ifs, no none of that. We just gonna speak facts. Just facts. Facts only. That's it. That's all. That's it. Just facts. Okay, who killed Malcolm? First of all, the documentary was dope. It was a 4-part, 5-part series. It was dope.
I watched it all in one day.
Okay, now, bro,
It was that dope.
I've done, bro.
You did the investigation like him?
Yeah,
You
I
just
wish
that document.
I wish I could. Well, I made 2 videos about it, but I wish I could put a number on it. I don't know, bro. I would say I've done hundreds of hours of research on who killed Malcolm. I don't know, but let me give you some facts, right? Malcolm had a cousin named Hakeem Jamal. He had a cousin named Hakeem Jamal. And Hakeem Jamal wrote a book called From the Dead Level. That's an important book. Go read that book called From the
Dead Level.
From the Dead Level. Hakeem Jamal.
That's what I just said.
Hakeem Jamal. Now, Malcolm was on a flight to LA to go speak to some of the women who were allegedly impregnated by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Some of the people who were allegedly impregnated. Some underage girls, right? So, now these are Hakeem Jamal's words, what I'm about to tell you. Everything I'm about to give you is from them, from the people, straight from them, straight out of their mouths.
Brother Jamal.
So, if you don't believe me, if I'm lying, then they lying.
Okay.
They lying. I'm giving you the documentation. Hakeem Jamal said they was at the airport and he noticed this one guy at the airport. But he was thinking the guy may be a black Muslim, but he wasn't sure. The guy that he noticed was actually a dude named John Ali, who was the national secretary of the Nation of Islam. This was the guy he noticed. Minutes later, he noticed that the airport was flooded with NOI members. Malcolm had to be hid in a secret room by security. They had to hide Malcolm, and he ended up taking a flight to Chicago. When he got to Chicago, a lot of these same people were in Chicago and they tried to attack Malcolm. These are Hakeem Jamal's words, and he's identifying these people from the NOI. So I'm not gonna say the NOI killed him. None of that. I'm telling you what was documented. They tried to attack Malcolm at the in Chicago, because Malcolm wanted to do an interview in Chicago. So they also had another, like, a lot of stuff is not talked about. Malcolm had a high-speed chase. Malcolm had on 4th of July 1964, 4 members of the NOI. This is what Malcolm said. If I'm lying, Malcolm lying. Malcolm said, and it's in this book called The Judas Factor. Malcolm said that The Judas Factor.
Can I borrow that book?
Yes, yes. So Malcolm said 4 members of the NOI came to his house armed with knives, chased this dude up the block. Malcolm went outside to because a lot of fireworks was going off, stuff like that. He went outside to move his car closer to the house. And when he got outside, it was 4 guys who chased him until his car. He got in his car and he sped off. This is from Malcolm. Not my words, no speculation. This is from Malcolm, directly out of his mouth. There was a guy named Leon X. Amir, who was somebody who was very close to Malcolm. He worked right up under Malcolm. His name is Leon X. Amir. He got beat almost to death at the Teresa Hotel in '63. They almost killed this dude. The people who beat him down, one person was a guy named Clarence X. Gill, he was the bodyguard for Muhammad Ali. Him and like 3 other brothers, they beat Leon X. Amir down. Beat him down. They almost killed him. Shortly after Malcolm died, Leon X. Amir mysteriously was murdered. You know what I'm saying? Like, 4 members from the NOI beat him down. Shortly after Malcolm died,
he died.
He's murdered. You know what I'm saying? All of this, like, that's a fact. That's a fact. So, like, another thing, Hakeem Jamal was he was murdered. He was murdered in his apartment. Malcolm was identifying a lot of the people who he saw with his own eyes who was after him. You know what I'm saying? He was identifying them. Sometimes I had this discussion before, and people referred me to an interview that Malcolm's daughter did. I think she did it on Vlad or something like that.
Yeah.
And
Vlad
asked her about the attempts on Malcolm's life. So she wasn't aware of that. She didn't even know about it. And she also admitted, she didn't read his biography until after she graduated. She said Malcolm was always just daddy to her. So
Right.
I think he told her that I think Betty said there was like 3 attempts on his life or something like that. And she was like, well, I didn't know if that's what my mom said, then that's what it was. So, when you take that into consideration, it's like, even though that's his daughter, she still didn't know about all the other attempts. You know what I'm saying? So so you got to be careful when you use her as a, Malcolm's own daughter said that, you know what I'm saying? Right. She didn't know. She also didn't know about, a lot of other stuff. And she admitted, that's admitted by her.
Yeah.
But when you say that, at the same time, she promoted the documentary. She promoted. So obviously she either changed her views on what happened, or she knew it and she just didn't, she didn't want to unpack it the way that it needed to be unpacked. So you take certain things and it's like, and again, everything I'm saying is documented. There's no speculation. What did Malcolm say about it? You know what I'm saying? Who did he say was trying to get him? Now he had a situation when he went to Mecca that had nothing to do with the NOI. When he got poisoned, he was poisoned over there, and he remembered it. There was 2 white men following him around all day. He remembered that, so it got to a point.
I read that in the book.
Yeah. So it got to a point where he's like, I said the nation was trying to kill me, but I don't know who after me. But Malcolm was involved with a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to bring in the United Nations, and he was trying to do some big stuff, some dangerous stuff. You know what I'm saying? He was even, when he had that meeting with Fidel Castro at the Teresa Hotel, he was even talking about, if it came down to it, taking up arms against the United States government. So Malcolm was a dangerous man. You know what I'm saying? It's a dangerous man. But certain things that happen that it just doesn't make sense. When Malcolm booked his flight to LA, the only people that knew about the flight was like Hakeem Jamal, his wife, a few other people. Those were the only people who knew about the flight. He didn't tell anybody else. Now, mind you, the FBI was bugging Malcolm's phones like crazy. They was bugging all of them brothers' phones. So it makes you wonder if nobody knew about this flight, and he used a name. What was his name? I think he booked it under the name David instead of, he didn't use his name. Right. So if nobody knew about it, and Betty Shabazz, she wasn't gonna give him up. Hakeem Jamal wasn't gonna give him up because his life would have been in danger. Right. Only certain people knew about it, and he booked the flight under a different name, and everything was on a hush. Explain to me, how do you get to the airport and it's flooded with NOI people trying to kill you? Not my words, Hakeem Jamal's words, Malcolm's words. There's even videos that you can pull up of Leon X. Amir and Malcolm. They sitting up at a podium, and Malcolm, they talking about after Leon X. Amir got beaten down. These are their words. This ain't from a book. This not from Google. This not from Wikipedia. None of that. These are his words. You can see him. Go on YouTube, pull the videos up. Type in Leon X. Amir. Type in Malcolm. You can see him say it. Okay. Out of his own mouth. So when the question is asked, who killed Malcolm, and that's another thing. Like I told you about the Bumpy Johnson Malcolm friendship. Yeah. What a lot of my information was out way before that documentary also. And I'm not saying that brother got any information from me, because there's another brother named Zach Kondo, Z-A-K Kondo. He's done extensive research on this. You know what I'm saying? If you want to know anything about, what happened with Malcolm, go listen to some of his lectures. Okay. Listen to Zach. There's another brother who I got put on to late. He's a YouTuber. a guy named Omar Shabazz. Go watch some of his videos. A guy named Omar Shabazz. He goes in deep.
Okay.
I mean, deep. He goes in deep. It's some stuff he put out there that's, bruh, it'll blow your mind. It's some stuff. I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to repeat some of that. Man, folks. But yeah, he go in deep. So Omar Shabazz and Zach Kondo, go check those brothers out if you want that real, that raw about Malcolm. I mean, they go in deep. So that documentary was good. He left a lot of stuff out.
Maybe he couldn't put all that in there because it could cost him.
Possibly. He had that guy Mustafa Shabazz, aka William Bradley. I told people about him years ago. You know what I'm saying? Certain stuff I say, like, I'll put some stuff. That's why I stopped putting a lot of history on Facebook. Like, I'll put some stuff out there and, like, it's crickets. It'll get like 2 likes. And then months later, somebody like Dr. Umar share that same history or somebody, and it go viral. It go viral. I'm like, man, I told y'all about that 2 years ago. I'm like, I've been told y'all about that.
Right.
I remember, one thing, I just use Umar as an example. There's other people, but I remember Umar put something out. It was the information about when MLK got shot. About how he actually didn't die right there. He died in the hospital, and they were spitting on him and saying, let that nigga die, all that. Bro, I've been shared that. I shared that a while ago. It was like millions and millions of views on that and all kind. I'm like, man, I think folks don't be listening to me. Because a lot of stuff in that documentary, the Malcolm X documentary, I've been put that out there. And I got the videos. I got old videos you can watch. Put that out there a while ago. Folks don't be believing me until somebody else say it. Then they're like,
give you confirmation. Is that like how you tell it? Like, it's just confirmation. I know what I be talking about.
Yeah, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good.
As long as you feel good.
It makes me feel good.
As long as it make you feel good.
Because I'm like,
as long as you know you sharing some real.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that was 3. Should we call ourselves black? Number 4.
Ah, man.
This what you get.
That's about
frequently.
Yeah, that's about as bad as the "Are we from Africa?" talk. As far as black, right? We've always used a title that meant a color. We've always used that. The ancestors has always used that. Just like even the N-word, nigga. Look, people be asking me like, why do you say nigga? Why do you say brother? I wouldn't take you for somebody who would say nigga. Yes, I'm gonna say nigga because that's all word. I shout nigga from the mountaintop, my nigga. That's all word. No, the white man didn't give us that. No, the white man didn't label us that. That's our word. You know what I'm saying? It started with niggas. That's our word.
Yeah, okay.
It's
also funny shit. This is what Michael Blackson always say, right?
Go ahead.
Because that's how he said it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Like that. It be sounding funny because he got the accent, but that's
right.
All right,
Niggas mean black king. You know what I'm saying? Naga. The Naga people was the black people over in Asia. That means black king. Nigga. The white man added the ER. You know what I'm saying? It went from Niglish. I think it was like Niggy, Nigi. It switched up, and that's always been our word. And the thing is, it's like how does the white man have so much say so over you to tell you that you can't use your word? Like what's the name of your show? Is it Handsome TV or
Nasty Handsome TV?
Nasty Handsome TV. So there we go, Cooling with Coach Cheese, right? So if the white man starts mistreating you and tell you that you can't use that word, like are you gonna change the name of your show?
No,
absolutely not. So how can the white man have so much say so over you and demonize your word and tell you that you can't use it? That's your word from your people. That's your word. That's ours. Like
I feel the same way.
Man, that's ours. My nigga, that's ours. That's us. You can't demonize something that denotes royalty, something that belongs to us, and tell us we can't use it. You know what I'm saying? It's bad for us to use it. No, that's our word. So
Okay.
black, right?
Black.
We
We
was the indie people, the original Indians were us. That the Indian, if you type in Indian and black, type in, you know what I'm saying? Indian means black. It literally means black. Indian comes from the word Indi. We're also indigo. Columbus and you know all those people. They originally started calling us the indigo people. We use black. Mostly it was due to the absorbance from the sun. You know what I'm saying? How we can absorb the sun on all frequencies. 90% of the people who die from skin cancer, are Caucasian people. We are sun people. You know what I'm saying? Like the name has changed. You know what I'm saying? But it always meant a color. And then, you know, if you say, you know what I'm saying, okay, as far, a lot of people like to use Black's Law Dictionary. You know what I'm saying? Even in Black Law's Dictionary, fourth edition Black Law's Dictionary, on page 388, it literally says what black, Negro, African American, all that. It says that black means, that's what black means. So even if you take that route, the book that most people try to use to debunk the word black, it says that in Black Law's Dictionary. It says it right there in there. So 388, fourth edition Black Law's Dictionary. I give references. I give receipts. I give receipts. So you got people. You got people like a lot of people say, you know, well, Jesse Jackson gave us the term African American, and he did not. I think it's a guy. I don't know if it's Timothy or Thomas. It was in the 1800s. And there's a book about African Americans, and all through the book, he's saying African American. That was in the 1800s. I don't know when Jesse Jackson was born, but I know it was in the 1900s. So this brother did that way before Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson got credit for that. He didn't create it. He got credit for it. He did not create it. He got the credit for it. So we've been used that. Then if you say, you know, what's your nationality? You know what I'm saying? I'm an American. And the thing is, you know, like as far as, like, I don't care what we call ourselves. If we're on the same page, I don't give a damn. I don't care. Okay. As long as we're on the same, look, let me tell you this. If a police officer comes to bust your ass, a cop comes to kick your ass, right? They planning on whooping your ass. Me, you, Chuck, Nasty Ned's in the car, right? They're not gonna pull up to the car and be like, there's a black man, there's a Hebrew man, there's an Aborigine, and there's a colored. No.
What they gonna say?
No. They're not gonna say that. We're all one and the same. Right. He might say there's 4 black men in the car. You know what I'm saying?
That's what
so like, it's like, bro, I don't care. I don't care what we call each other. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, man. Not doctor, but Khalil Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? Khalil Muhammad's, look, black is ours. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and again, that's another thing that the white man didn't give us that. Okay. The white man didn't give us that. The ancestors gave us that.
Credit.
Way too much. And even if you say, you know what I'm saying, the white man gave you that the white man said that's a derogatory term. How does the white man have so much say so over you? I don't think people think about that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, if the white man say black is bad, okay. Like the white man got that much say so over you. Mm-hmm. So he got that much say so over you. You know what I'm saying? But before they tried to make black bad, you know what I'm saying? Black was associated with everything good. So I don't give a damn what the white man say as far as black or nigga or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because the white man don't have that much say so over me.
I like that.
But I don't care what we call ourselves.
But as long as we on the same page.
I don't care. I don't care if we can't come together. If it's, you know, it's about cohesiveness, man. It's about cohesiveness. And if we have that, bro, we can call ourselves whatever.
So, all right. So, okay. Fifth question, last question.
Yes, sir.
That you frequently ask. I'm pretty sure this be coming on your YouTubes and your inboxes, everything, people, or when they see you. Okay, so Civil War.
The Civil War. So many misconceptions about the Civil War and about did you ever see that meme about Abraham Lincoln? There's a meme that says the meme went viral. It was floating around everywhere about Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves and black people still call him racist or something like that.
Yeah, I see.
Did you saw that meme?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Now,
also seen the movie where
Abraham Lincoln, listen, he didn't give a damn about black, whatever you want to call us. Because I'm sure there's some people watching.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to call us, bro. You know, with that, you know, scientists they came together and they broke it down into basically 3 categories. Before I get on that Civil War real quick.
Okay.
3 categories. You got Negroid, which is us. You got Caucasoid and you got Mongoloid. Caucasoid are the white people, Caucasian people. The Mongoloid, these are the Asian people. And everything else is a hybrid identity. Everything else is you know, our offsprings due to, you know what I'm saying, mating with each other. Now, as far as the Civil War, the Civil War was about business. You know what I'm saying? It was about business, and the Emancipation Proclamation, that was pressure applied by us. That's what happened. Now, the Gullah Wars took place. The Gullah Wars, this was a war that lasted for over 100 years, which cost the United States a fortune. Cost them a fortune. Something that they were not for, something they wasn't expecting, and something that they, you know what I'm saying, some stuff they wasn't ready for. Now, the Spanish had control over Florida. They had Florida, and you know what I'm saying, during the war, what the Spanish did, they put the word out for any runaway slaves, y'all can come join us. We'll train you, we'll give you arms, and you know what I'm saying, you can build your own army. So that's what happened. So see, you know, it started to build up. And what they were doing, every time one ran away, they joined the army. So when they join, they give information to the military-minded people of, you know what I'm saying, you can hit this plantation, they got this over here, they got that over here, this is how we can hit them. So that's what they did. Now, it was slowly building up. They was going to plantation, killing everything moving. The army, and it built up fast. Over time, and they had another battle where 400 runaway slaves defeated nearly 12,000 of the United States finest. That's a fact. About 12,000 of them defeated them because they wasn't aware of the area. You know, I was just in Florida, and I was in a town called Suwanee. Suwanee, Florida was a town where basically it was similar to Black Wall Street. We've had towns way before Black Wall Street, you know what I'm saying, existed. A lot of people don't know that. But Suwanee, they had their own farm, their own medical, their own school, their own food, everything. They had everything. So Andrew Jackson, who was General Andrew Jackson at the time, before he became president, he wanted to go through there and, you know, tear everything up because black people were successful. They was taking care of their business and they didn't need white assistance. So he sent his troops through there. They go through there, and the runaway military-minded slaves, they set a trap for him. So they go through there thinking they about to, you know, do whatever they came to do,
right,
and they got annihilated. Now, before this battle kicked off, all the women and children of the community, they hid them. They put them away. Andrew Jackson go in there with the troops, and they had to retreat. So as they was retreating, he spotted the section of the community where all the women and children was hiding. He ordered his troops to annihilate each and every one of them. Everyone. He went through there, decapitated them, cutting heads off, women and children. The men ate them up. But Andrew Jackson is, you know, and people get mad on why we want some of these statues to be took down. Why we want, because all through school curriculum, people like Andrew Jackson, he's a hero.
True.
We getting told that you know he's a hero to this great nation, but they're not giving you the dark history of this hero. He bombed another black community. What is it called? Negro Fort. He bombed Negro Fort, and he laughed. Him and his people laughed over the blood-curdling screams. They laughed over that. You know what I'm saying? But this guy's a hero, though. All through school curriculum, Andrew Jackson's a hero. He's on a $20 bill. He got statues up. You know what I'm saying? Like, these type of people, they have monuments up.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They got statues and all type of stuff up. So yeah, you know, that type of stuff needs to come down. You know, that there's a history behind a lot of places in Florida are named after people like Andrew Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Orlando is one. Dade County is one. Duval, many places out there in Florida, right? So now back to the, you know, the Gullah Wars. The very first one kicked off was actually in it was 1700s. I can't think of the exact date. So it was an enslaved man named Cato. You know, a lot of them they don't have last names. You know, a lot of them they don't. You know, so his name was Cato, and he started. You know what I'm saying? He started peeping of you know how white folks was taking care of their business on the plantation, and he knew on Sundays that they go to church. You know what I'm saying? They go to church. They have ceremonies and stuff like that. So you know he sat back, he took notes, and he contemplated, and you know he was slowly getting his people on board for what they need to do. Mm-hmm. Now, they just passed a law that white folks it was mandatory for you to carry arms, to carry even more arms at that time. So, and he was aware of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing. Like our people, man, they were so aware of what was going on, man. This was before social media. This was before, you know what I'm saying? All that. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? He was just, you know, taking notes and peeping everything out. So it was on a Sunday. All the folks was, you know what I'm saying, at church and stuff like that. So what he did, he planned the attack. He got it up. There was about 20 of them. They went down to a local gun shop. They went up in there, and they ambushed the shop owner. They ambushed him, killed him. The other guy cut his head off, stuck his head on a pole. They took all the weapons. They started chanting, freedom, freedom, freedom. They started chanting, and they armed up. They went from plantation to plantation, killing everything moving. Everything moving. I think they hit multiple plantations. And it was graphic. It was graphic because they was killing women, kids, you know what I'm saying? They was cutting kids' heads off, putting them on a pole, putting them out on the road. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's pretty graphic, but you got to understand what they went through, what they dealt with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, so you know that's what happened, and they was you know, ransacking everything in his path. They gave one slave owner. They gave him a pass because he had a history of not being physically abusive to his slaves. So they gave him a pass. But everybody else, they killed everything in sight. Now, they ended up getting killed. They did get killed. But that kind of got the ball rolling on, you know what I'm saying, the Gullah Wars or whatever. Now, once, you know, everything started taking place, it started to grow, man. It started to grow. The whole reason they stopped importing slaves was due to that. Because the people that they was getting over here, these were military-minded people. They were totally different from the slave that was born here. Because a lot of slaves that was when you're born into slavery, you know,
you conditioned.
They had a different mindset.
Yeah.
They had a totally different mindset. So you're born into slavery. You think you're a slave.
That's all you know.
That's all you know. So in Frederick Douglass's biography, he talked about during the Reconstruction period how a lot of those slaves, they wanted to go back into slavery, and he couldn't understand, like,
because
you know,
that's all they know.
That's all they knew.
Right.
That's all they knew. So if that's all you knew all your life, you was a slave. You know what I'm saying? You think this is how life's supposed to go. But the people that they was getting over here, nah, they weren't like that. They weren't like that. Totally different mindset. So that's why they stopped a lot of, importing slaves and stuff like that.
Because it's new energy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that Gullah army was building. It was building. It kept building. And that, white America put pressure on Lincoln to, put in the law. They put the Emancipation Proclamation was due to pressure by us. It had nothing to do with the Civil War and all that. The Civil War, that was business. You know what I'm saying? Because the South was killing it because they had free labor. They had free, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They was killing it. So that was about business. Lincoln said, a quote, Lincoln said, if I can save the Union by freeing some of the slaves, I will. If I can save the Union by freeing all the slaves, I will. If I can save it by freeing none of them, I'll do that. So he didn't give a damn about us. He didn't care about, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't a moral reason why he did it. You know what I'm saying? Even after that, he wanted to set up a system to where, you know what I'm saying, he's shipping all of us to Haiti. You know what I'm saying? Those were his plans. So yes, like, it had nothing to do with the kindness of his heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can black people, you know what I'm saying, Abraham Lincoln, he did not free the slaves due to some type of moral reason. So yes, that and I always reference 3 books about the Gullah Wars because that's so important.
Tell them the books. Tell them reference the
The
book.
3 books for the Gullah Wars. One is Florida's Negro. Yeah, my stack gonna fall. Okay. The Invisible War. The Invisible War is 1. My subscribers already know how I feel about the Invisible War. The Invisible War, The Unconquered, and Florida's Negro War. Those 3 books will tell you any and everything you need to know about the Gullah Wars. Those 3. There's more books than that, but those 3 right there, anything you want to know, they will cover everything. So that's a history that needs to be told, man, because a lot of folks don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just the reality of it. People don't know about that. We were not free due to any type of, the kindness of his heart or like, yeah, this is wrong. We shouldn't be. No, we were free we fought our way out of slavery.
Okay.
We fought our way out.
Cool.
It was pressure because they wasn't going to continue to have little white babies and white women getting their heads cut off and being placed on the road. They wasn't going to continue to allow that because these were ambush attacks. They couldn't defend it. You know what I'm saying? You can't have a military everywhere, so they couldn't defend it. And then plus the military already got their ass kicked, that's a fact. That's a fact. So they couldn't defend it. Like the attacks that they were getting hit by, the brothers was ducked off in trees, in the swamps, man. All they were setting traps for them. They like to call the Dade County massacre and some type of like the way they tell you that history is like it was some type of vicious, savage attack against these poor white folks. No, they got their ass kicked. Simple as that. It wasn't like that. They came over. They knew what time it was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was a battle. It was a head-to-head war, and they got ripped to shreds. But in school's curriculum and everything else, it's not going to tell you that. That's why it's important. You gotta.
My next question, but go ahead.
You got it, man. You have to read the documentation, man. Like a lot of people, you tell them something, they try to do a quick Google search, and they don't get the in-depth, and they probably question you, and they probably like, nah, that ain't what say, bruh. You gotta read the documentation, man. You're not gonna get that thorough breakdown on what exactly happened. If you go, I honestly, I haven't even Googled the Dade County Massacre, but if you Google it, it'll probably tell you about some type of bullshit, savage, unfair, brutal attack. And that's not what it was. It was a head-to-head battle, and they got ripped to shreds. But they call that the Dade County Massacre. You know what I'm saying? They call it a massacre. They call that a massacre. But when Andrew Jackson ordered his troops to annihilate and cut the heads off women and children, they chalked that up as a W. You know what I'm saying?
True.
In
Okay.
in the in
That's all in the word,
the
huh?
war history, like that they chalk that up as a win. The Battle of Suwannee that's a win for Andrew Jackson and the United States. They don't tell you that was a loss. They don't tell you how the people had to retreat because they went up against them brothers and they had to retreat. They don't tell you that. They tell you that Andrew Jackson and his troops were victorious. Why were they victorious? They cut the heads off a bunch of women and children who were defenseless, who didn't have arms, who were hiding because the men was tearing y'all ass up. So like a lot of this shit, you can't Google this stuff. You can't go to Wikipedia real quick. You can't look at a meme and be like I hate when people send me a meme to try to, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Or a soundbite.
A soundbite, like, bro, you have to thoroughly do the research, man. Thoroughly do it. There's documentation. But
They say they ambushed by the Seminoles.
that's what they say.
Yeah.
For the Dade County massacre, that's what it says. I knew it, bro. I swear to God, I've
You
never.
said I know. You never even Googled it.
Bro,
before. You
I
just
swear
said
to
that.
God. Bro, I've never Googled that. I've never Googled that. Chuck just Googled it and it said that they was ambushed by the Seminoles. I've never Googled that in my life, bro. I swear to God.
There was 110 soldiers ambushed by 180 Seminoles.
110 soldiers was ambushed by 100. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's not what happened.
But
It
even
was a
if
head-to-head battle.
But even if it was, that's just y'all lost.
But even if it
Why
was,
not ambush? All the shit, all the wars get ambushed. Right?
but
Nobody comes up to the line. And
But they never say it like that, though.
they never.
they don't say it like that.
Word, man.
And,
the
and see,
wording.
and see, they don't. But let's say hypothetically, if it was some type of one-sided, unfair ambush, right? What was the ambush over? It's because they was trying to enslave us.
Trying to take
Bec-
his land.
exactly, because these brothers were free.
Try to force him away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even if it was some type of ambush, some type of one-sided attack, I think that's pretty
I think
a
that's
valid reason to ambush somebody.
I think that's great strategy. You
That's-
catch somebody off guard, you just catch them off
See,
guard.
that's it.
What's the new law now? You got the right to what?
Bear arms?
All right, you protect your shit, right?
So
I mean, that's what they was doing.
absolutely. So that
I thought you got caught in the booby trap.
absolutely. That's what happened. Y'all came in on some bullshit.
Yeah, now you got,
And you got surprised. You got surprised. Y'all came in on that,
right.
trying to, you know what I'm saying? Some niggas run up in this garage, and we know they coming, and they come up in here, and we come from the back or from the sides,
One of this right here.
and we give them that work. How was that unfair?
How is that unfair?
How was that unfair? No, sir, absolutely not.
Okay. So okay. What was it sparking you to make you want to dive in deep? Was it when you went to college? When you went to school?
No,
Huh?
no,
That ain't what it say.
because
Who said that?
huh?
Somebody said that.
Somebody said what?
I said it was some shit like, man, you don't say that.
No, because I was honestly.
You know it's always nice. Every time. Well, go ahead, my brother.
Honestly, no. Like I was on BS in college. Like I wasn't really on that. You know what I'm saying? This was more so. A lot of people don't know this. What I'm about to say. Like I was honestly like, bro. Like I was a grown man. Like I couldn't really read, man. I couldn't really read.
But your ass.
Swear to God. Yeah, bro. Man, I was self-taught, self-educated. I mean, like I could read, but like.
Right.
Like
get what you're saying.
I was having a hard time reading, you know what I'm saying? I was struggling with it. I was even in class, like in school and stuff like that, like I used to hate when teacher called on me to read.
Everybody hated that. I can read pretty decent. I just don't want to stand and read.
Right.
I just never dug that.
So
But go ahead, go
so
ahead.
it's just, it's self-taught, man. Self-taught, you know what I'm saying? Then once I got the ball rolling, it was like,
Then hunger just.
yeah, it's like
Like
this,
for anything.
yeah, it's like this shit is dope. So like I'm reading stuff and I'm learning about stuff. I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. Like, wow, I didn't know this. I didn't know that. I didn't know this.
Because the more you know,
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
that give you self-esteem.
yeah, absolutely,
And confidence, the more you know.
absolutely.
So like you know a lot about man.
Absolutely.
You're a great mom, and we
I,
talked.
I appreciate that.
And I'm
I
like,
appreciate that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fun.
So I just like, bro, man, all day all day today I was reading, man. Right before I, you know what I'm saying, came over here. You know what I'm saying? I just closed up my little book and stuff like that. So I just, like Malcolm talked about, you know what I'm saying, man, read everything you can get your hands on, man. Read everything. Everything. So, you know what I'm saying? No matter what situation you're going through, there's somebody who documented that. There's somebody who wrote about it already. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No matter what you're going through, there's somebody who wrote about it. Most of my books, like I said, I read his history. If I've read 50 something books, then probably about, let's say I read 50 books, 45 of them would be about our history. Then every now and then I read something a little different, like, I read The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. That's a pretty good book.
Hold on, wait. What's this book?
That's by Mark Manson. That's a good
That's
book.
gonna be, look, when I return this first book, you gonna be in my library.
Yeah.
Let me give me a card, man. You know what I'm saying?
I got a library. I got a library, man. I got a library. I'm gonna have to move soon and get I need a room. I need a whole garage or whatever to put my library in, man. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna run out of space. I ain't even got all my books at the crib, man. I ain't even got all my books at the crib. I'm gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? But I like that though. I like my own library, and especially now doing this YouTube stuff. I go back on a lot of stuff, so I gotta pull this up. I gotta pull that because, like I said, I want to give book references. I don't want to just tell you like in 17 something. And then just give you the information, and then like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I want you to go find it. You know what I'm saying? I want you to go look it up. So yeah, I just, that's what it is, man. A lot of people they never knew that about me. You know what I'm saying? Of course they know the MMA stuff, kickboxing, all that, but
before that, you was a football player.
Yeah, football. Yeah. Even then, I was soaking it up. I was soaking it up. I just wasn't sharing it because it's not really like a platform. I won't say platform, but it's not. Most of the time, it's not like a setup to really just share stuff. Unless
True.
you know what I'm saying? Because like who just walk around just talking about Black history all day? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we talking about something, or we in a barbershop. What we talking about in the shop? We talking about LeBron versus Jordan. LeBron versus Jordan, something. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, do I just chime in and be like, hey, bro, in 53 they did, so it's not.
Every blue moon, you gonna scratch the surface. Brother Malcolm, Brother Martin. We might get some Farrakhan in there, and then.
Yeah.
That's it.
But man, so
that's
books,
in the barbershop though.
But man, before we wrap it up, some books. I definitely I said The Destruction of the Black Civilization, Stolen Legacy, We Came Before Columbus, The Miseducation of the Negro, The New Jim Crow. Those books definitely should be mandatory. Definitely. And a lot of this stuff you got to read it more than once, man. You got.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna actually like, cause when you go back and read books, when you do anything, you learn more as you go back.
Yeah, absolutely. Like most of these books, I've read more than once. You know what I'm saying?
You learn something new
every time. It's like watching a movie. You gonna like, all right, man, I didn't see that the first time around. Or I didn't see this the first time around. Like, wow, I didn't know that. So you know what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff, because it's so much to soak up, and you can't get it all. But the thing about it, like, our history is so deep. Mm-hmm. Like you'll never stop learning our history. You know what I'm saying? You got people like John Henry Clark or, Brother Dick Gregory or other people who the elders who were in their late 80s before they passed, and they've all said stuff like, how you never stop learning. You never stop learning. I don't care if you read 100 books a year, you're not gonna stop learning. Like you always gonna learn. And then when you have conversations with other historians or other knowledgeable people, they can always teach you something. You know what I'm saying? Even as much as I read, like there's probably some shit you can tell me about history that I didn't even know, and I'm like, oh man, I didn't know that, and I gotta go and I gotta sharpen my sword now. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. Yeah. That's what it's about, and that's all. Even in some type of debate, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever you want to debate. If you want to debate where we come from, if you want to debate, you know what I'm saying, whether we're this, whether we're that, like there's something you and I can learn from each other. But through that conversation,
right?
Like it doesn't have to be like that sounds stupid. So you telling me it ain't got to be like that. Right. It ain't got to be like that. You know what I'm saying? I give you the information that I've studied, You give me the information you study. We can exchange. I learn what you learn. You learn what I learn. And maybe we can come with some type of, you know what I'm saying, understanding for both. And even with a lot of stuff in history, there's like more than one story. You got people like, let me think top of the head, Queen Nzinga from Angola, right? She has two stories. She has the African story and she has the Portuguese story. There's two totally different versions. So you could have information from the Portuguese story. I could have her information from the African story. You know what I'm saying? Okay, what you've learned, what you know about her. I'm gonna give you what I've read about her.
Okay.
So, and it's like with these two different stories, it's like, you know what I'm saying? You have a truth here, you have a story here, you have a story there. So it's like somewhere in the middle, like there's got to be a truth. Somewhere in the middle, there's got to be, you know what I'm saying? So absolutely, absolutely. So there's a lot of stuff in history that, you know, a lot of stuff can go either way. A lot of stuff is debatable. A lot of stuff is very debatable. And
as long as we learning something from each side of the debate,
absolutely.
And what you said, as long as we're on one accord,
Absolutely.
it should be okay.
Absolutely.
As long as it's for the betterment of our people.
Absolutely. I want to give a few more.
Right now, I ain't from Africa. I'm from Crenshaw, oh, yes, you are. You are African booty shit. No, that's, hey man, that's dope, bro. I tell you, I watch this stuff.
I appreciate that.
I be like,
listen, man.
This man just be deep.
Let me say this, man. I need
knowledgeable, bro.
I need more subscribers from the hometown. I need more subscribers from Kankakee. I don't have a lot of subscribers from the hometown. You know what I'm saying? I don't. That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm at 88,000 subscribers, and
God, that's a lot. Man.
And
I got like 3 of them.
History with no chasing.
History with no chasing.
History with no chasing.
Subscribe, like, hit the button. My sons taught me that.
History with no chasing.
They
hit the button, man. Just pressing the button, man. I ain't asking you for no money. I'm not asking you to go out of your way. I'm not asking you to hit the button. Hit the button. It's needed. And hit thumbs up on the videos because it's important, man. Like, it is actually important. You know, like likes don't count for anything else. Like I post a picture, like I don't give a damn if you like my picture on Facebook. Right. But likes actually matter on YouTube because it help with the rankings. You know what I'm saying? Help, like if I make a video about cooling with Coach East and 20 other people make a video about it, if I have more thumbs up, my video is gonna go to the top when you search that. You know what I'm saying? So when you search the video, because I have more likes, you know what I'm saying?
See, we need to wrap on this. So you're going to give me information because I need to get on YouTube.
Yes. You do.
Even though I love my life because I get to interact with my people.
Yeah.
But if I get so many subscribers.
Yeah, you get paid for that.
Hold up. Hold up. Don't tell people that.
You get paid for that.
They not going to call.
You get paid for that.
No, just right. But word up.
Yeah. You can do exactly what I'm doing. We chopping it up on the book. And I got my live going right here. Got my live going right here. My subscribers on right here.
Damn.
I can't see. I'm trying to see the comments. I can't even see.
Okay.
But yeah. Why not?
That's hard, bro.
Why not? You know what I'm saying? What was that? I gave 5. I'm gonna get. I want to say a book called Sundown Towns.
Okay, yeah, let's stay on that. Sundown Down.
Sundown Towns. That book. That book can potentially save your life, especially in this era. Like the book is about basically. First of all, it's a huge book.
Which book that would you give somebody to get them started?
A book it's right here. Oh man,
I see Message to the Black Man.
Oh yeah, right here,
that's
right
tough,
here.
That's tough.
And
that's
listen.
That's tough. I already know
listen,
about that.
The information I gave about the NOI and all that. Look, I ain't got nothing. Look, I don't hate the NOI. I don't hate Elijah Muhammad. None of that. I'm giving you the information that is documented. You can look it up. That's a fact. You can look it. That's a fact.
It's fact.
No speculation. No none of that. That's a fact. But yes, the message to the black man in America. That's a powerful book. Powerful. But a book I would recommend would be Dr. Claude Anderson's book. Dr. Claude Anderson is called A Black History Reader. This book right here, this is 101 questions you never thought to ask. And Dr. Claude Anderson, people who don't know him, man, please be more familiar with Dr. Claude Anderson.
Dr. Claude Anderson.
Dr. Claude Anderson. Listen to that brother. You know what I'm saying? He's actually, a lot of folks was, felt some type of way about Cube, and they was, you know what I'm saying? Cube spoke with Dr. Claude Anderson. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the information that Cube, you know what I'm saying, was planning on taking, that comes from Dr. Claude Anderson. This book is man, powerful book. So I always recommend this book, to get somebody started. I would say Dr. Claude Anderson's A Black History Reader, 101 Questions You Never Thought to Ask. That book right there,
So
definitely.
This the one I should go with.
100%.
100. This the first one.
Yes. Dr. Claude Anderson, that brother is serious. That's one of my favorites. Dr. Claude Anderson is one of my favorites. Professor James Smalls, Anthony Browder. Listen to him. Go listen to some of these lectures. Like, if you don't like reading, if it's time consuming, go listen to Anthony Browder. Go listen to Professor James Smalls. Go listen to Dr. Claude Anderson. Go listen to people like this. That's highly recommended, definitely. We spoke, you know what, let me speak about this. This is a book called Black Fortunes. This book right here is about, millionaires during the slave era, black millionaires. This book is about that, you know what I'm saying?
That we don't know about.
It says it right here on the cover. The story of the first 6 African Americans who escaped slavery and became millionaires. Powerful book. Highly recommended. Go read Black Fortunes. Highly recommended. Powerful book. They talk about, a lot of people don't. A lot of people they've heard of like Black Wall Street, stuff like that, but they don't know what actually took place. You know what I'm saying? How everything. It gives you a little bit about a man named O.W. Gurley. He was the one. O.W. Gurley was the person who really got it going. That was the man who really, he really, man, was able to get black people on board and, help them understand that if we pool our resources together, how we can get stuff going. You know what I'm saying? O.W. Gurley was the man. That brother, that was the man right there. He was the one that got a lot of that stuff going. What's that?
So we need a girly now.
Yeah.
Now.
He was the one that.
See them, they in the minks and it.
Yeah. Oh man, you see the minks, you see the car they had.
They look in the park.
Man, listen. They was driving. You had people in that community driving that Ford Model T car, which is in today's equivalent to today is like driving a Rolls Royce Phantom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In that time, that was the Rolls Royce Phantom.
That's dope.
You had people driving that. You had we had our own everything. Had our own everything. O.W. Gurley, he orchestrated a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that was him. Most of it was him. And he was the man behind that. So, get more familiar with him and, you know what I'm saying, what he did and I mean, we can do it again. You know what I'm saying? A dollar bounced 26 times inside of that Greenwood district before it left. 26 times.
I think it's like 2 times now.
Yeah. 26.
I think I read that. It was like
26.
in our community.
Wow,
Chinatown is bounced for, it's like 11 days or something like that before it leaves the community.
Yeah. I don't think people understand how big that is. 26 times. 26 times.
That's huge.
That's huge. So yeah, that was the brother that, you know what I'm saying, he was behind a lot of that.
Okay. Here we go.
We spoke about Malcolm. I would say, bro, listen, go read The Judas Factor. The Judas Factor. Bro, listen, this book right here, The Judas Factor. Powerful. The Judas Factor. Powerful. Go read The Judas Factor. Please read. If we're talking about Malcolm's assassination, go read The Judas Factor. The Judas Factor. Go read Hakeem Jamal's book, From the Dead Level. And go read The Re-Assassination of Malcolm X. The Re-Assassination of Malcolm X.
That's his real picture on there?
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up. They got his autopsy picture on there, but that it's a graphic picture, but it's a graphic story behind it. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Go read that. And he also talks about a lot of stuff after his death you know, Malcolm if people don't know, you had people who tried to say Malcolm was gay and, you know, all kind of stuff. And he unpacks all of that. And he destroys it. But yes, the reassassination of Malcolm X, because, you know, they say you die twice. You die physically and you die when people tear down your name. People assassinate you.
We're going to put this on the Malcolm side.
After your death.
This on the Malcolm.
Yeah. This book, I spoke about this, The Miseducation of the Negro. Powerful book. It's a couple of different covers to this book. This is one. The other one is it's a woman on the cover. She got it's like a lock around her head, something like that. And in this book, Carter G. Woodson, he talks a lot about the school system and a lot about, you know, stuff like that. Powerful book. Highly recommended. In all
I'm trying
black
to see which
households.
one is the smallest. So
so you can get done with it fast.
I want to get done with it so I can get mine going. You're going to be like my personal library now, man, so I can get... Ooh, okay. Said this.
I spoke about this the same, you know, I could talk about this and the Invisible War at the same time. I gave 3. I gave The Unconquered, Florida's Negro War, and The Invisible War. These 3 right here, powerful. Tell you everything you know about our resistance. Understand something. We have never, ever just laid down and accepted slavery. Never.
Big
always fought. Huge.
So was you upset when Kanye said that shit?
All right, like, look.
Was you upset? Because now that you know the knowledge and you know.
Yes and no. I'm going to say why. Because I understood what he was saying, just like I understood that comment of Harriet Tubman didn't free anybody, but she just, they work for other white. I understood that too. But with Kanye, he says stuff and he leaves it up to the people to unpack what he really meant by that. You know what I'm saying? So now there's a whole war on all social media platforms of what he really meant instead of him
saying what he
instead of him unpacking everything of what he said. So I would say yes and no. I would say no, yes, because I'm like, bro, like, oh my God. Like we have from the beginning, we've always had our resistance. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have gun technology. So, you know, if you got this guy who pointing a musket at your daughter's face and be like, hey, all right, nigga, put them chains on or I'm blowing her head off. As a parent, you probably like, I'm not about to see my daughter get her head blew off. I'm going to put them chains on. Right. So a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to take that into consideration. You know, we didn't.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
bro, like, and then, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, we come and we're lacking geographical knowledge. We didn't all have the same language systems. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We had very limited resources. We didn't have the weaponry that they had. So it's like, that's a tough situation. You got some people that's like, well, they just gonna have to blow my kid's head off because I ain't putting them chains on. Yeah, I understand that, but then you also have people like me. I couldn't do it. Like, honestly, like, look, I'll put them chains on, and then what's gonna happen? Bro. What's gonna happen? I mean, we gonna fight another day. We gonna try to fight. That's what we did with the Gullah Wars. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did. We gonna try to find a way up out of here, but I don't think I can stomach you blowing my kid head off. You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't know. So like I said, I understood what Kanye was saying. So I would say yes and no. Okay. That I was upset about that because we had wars on the boats. We had battles. We had, you know what I mean? Like,
because he just put like a broad statement, like we just all
right. And then see people and people who don't know, they gonna take that and they just gonna be slavery was a choice. Oh man, you know one thing
because he a billionaire and they think
and
he sell a bunch of shoes and a bunch of shoes
absolutely.
So they think
absolutely. He got a big voice. You know what I'm saying?
He does.
He got a big voice.
He should be using it for the right shit.
So like,
that's what I feel about the chump.
Yeah. If Kanye shared some of the history that I share, he'd be a worldwide known genius. He'd be a genius. He'd probably be dead too. Probably be too. You know what I'm saying?
He would be dead.
Right.
So it's good to chump. Don't know that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, his shoes either.
They are some of mine. They are. But we've always had that resistance. We've had that resistance from the beginning. Always had that resistance.
Let's go.
Sundown towns. A lot of these towns. Did we unpack that? I think we got into something else. But a lot of these towns are like, a lot of them right here in Illinois. Towns of basically,
When the sun goes down, you better get out of town.
Absolutely, absolutely. And these towns are very real. They're real. They're very real.
In one of them?
They're all over Illinois, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of these towns, they have connections with law enforcement. You know what I'm saying?
True that.
They have connections with law enforcement. You got some people like, ain't no white folks gonna tell me why I can't go. I go wherever I want to go. Bruh, you have to be smart about the rah-rah shit, man. Because if they got connections with law enforcement, and you know what I'm saying, it's just you, and you just feel like, I'm gonna do what I want to. Bro, you can't go up against the law enforcement. You can't go up against, especially by yourself. You ain't got no army. So you got to be smart about it. You got to be smart about it. But yeah, a lot. They say Napa Valley. Napa Valley stands for no African people allowed. NAPA. You got. I'm trying to think of some different acronyms. Man, I can't think off the top of the head. There's plenty of acronyms that have a meaning to them. Mm-hmm. A lot of towns, it's funny. I had a fight. No, I was training one time. Somewhere, and I was in the car with some of my buddies, and we was driving through a town, and I made a comment. This is before I was even aware of a lot of sundown towns, and I made a comment. I'm like, man, this town, I forget, it was White something, and I'm like, man, it don't sound right. I'm like,
Is that what David talking about?
Let's not stop through here. It don't sound right because
he said White City.
White City.
Right on time.
I can't remember. It might have been. But I'm like, so, you know what I'm saying? They laughed at it. I'm like, no, I'm serious. Like, I don't like, you know what I'm saying? In this book, it tells you how a lot of those towns that start with white, whatever, they're sundown towns. Many of them are sundown towns. True indeed. So, I mean, they used to have signs up that tell you your black ass better not be spotted after the sun goes down. You know what I'm saying? So, Anna, Illinois. Anna, Illinois is... ain't no niggas allowed. You know what I'm saying? That's Anna, Illinois. So yeah, a lot of, the beginning of a lot of these towns, that's the history behind it, man. So yeah, Sundown Town, it's that book is an overload of information. Mm-hmm. It's very repetitive. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna say a lot of the same stuff, but just with a different name, a different town, but it's a powerful book. Okay. And this book, The New Jim Crow, man, listen.
How many times you read that?
This book, 3.5. Powerful book. This book talks about mass incarceration. Talk about the war on drugs. Talk about the 80s crack era. Talk about a lot of stuff that I mentioned on the war on drugs comment. This book talks about a lot of that stuff, and Michelle Alexander is dope, phenomenal woman. Absolutely.
I seen them talking on the 13th Amendment documentation.
Yeah. I forgot about that. I got a little song.
What you gonna spark me and I'm gonna dive on in, and then I'm gonna give me a library.
Look, you told me to bring.
Oh, okay. Now this is what we've been waiting for right here. A lot of people don't know why we call him the champ.
I got 5 of them things, man.
Wait. I'm finna put these ones on. I'm finna be like, who I'm gonna be like,
hey.
People, don't drop the knowledge. Don't drop the knowledge.
People actually remember that I still fight. That's what's up. I like that. They go 1,
champ
3.
Here.
I got 2 more for you.
What's up, baby?
We got 5 of them things in here.
The champion is trying to tell my sound, man.
Hey,
put the right there, got it like Floyd a little bit right here. But,
hey,
when
you know what I want to do?
Try to debate him. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth, man. Look what he got, son.
A debate is fine.
Watch your mouth.
Debates are healthy.
Damn.
They're healthy. Debates are healthy. You know what I'm saying? Man, there's so much dust collected on these things. Look at that, man.
So what the?
You know what I want to remake? You see that Floyd picture? You got your pool table right here. The Floyd picture when he at the table and he got his hoodie on. You know what I'm talking about? He got
Yeah,
all his belts.
All the belts.
Yeah, I ain't got as many belts as Floyd, but I want.
But we're gonna get back into it after the COVID, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I should be fighting in March.
Make sure y'all get out there and watch the
I
champ.
should be fighting in March. I should be
Dropping
fighting.
them
I don't care if it's
Bees on 'em.
I don't care if it's a kickboxing fight, if it's an MMA fight, but it should be in March. Should be in March.
The champ is here. Okay, so let's get in, let's get into that a little bit. This dope, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, cause look, all right, football.
Uh,
He was a football player.
right.
Cornerback. Khaki keys on.
Right.
Went to school.
Right,
Went to
right.
Northern, right? Was it Northern?
No, not me. I went to JJC and I went a
JJC,
little
okay.
Bemidji State in Minnesota.
Okay.
But yeah.
So football. So you know,
And then the semi-pro.
to me, semi-pro. Yeah, you was a dog in that too.
Right.
Football,
Appreciate
to me,
that.
you got to be kind of thrown off to play football.
They say you gotta be thrown off to play football. You gotta be thrown off to fight.
Yeah, so that's why
Like,
we get into
man,
the lines of that. Playing football, you want to run into people and hit them
Right.
hard as you can at full speed.
Right.
Something wrong with you. You gotta be a little thrown off.
Right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? But to get in here, you first of all, you in a ring.
Uh-huh.
Anything goes but biting.
Yeah.
No eye gouging. You can't eye gouge. None
Yeah.
of that shit.
Yeah. You know what? It started off, at first, I wanted to take up boxing at first.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta be thrown off to get want to get socked in your face.
And
multiple
you know what?
times.
Like I was actually doing that.
Uh-huh.
You know what? Dave Smith. I don't
Shout
know
out
if
to
Dave.
Dave.
Is
He
Dave
on
watching?
there. He just,
Dave watching, my boy.
Yeah,
Okay,
he
Dave watching.
Shout out to
Dave,
Dave.
bro,
Woo-woo.
listen. If it wasn't for Dave, I would have never been fighting. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. Wasn't for Dave, I would have never been fighting. I don't know. I have no idea what he saw in me back in early 2000s. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask that, bro. He watches, so I'm gonna have to ask him. I have no idea what he saw in
David
me.
coming to the show one day too. That's
Okay,
That's one of my dog. Yeah,
But
yeah.
he,
Very knowledgeable brother. Yeah.
he was on my ass about like, man, you need to try this MMA stuff, man. Like at first I'm like, like to his face, I'd be like, yeah, man, I'll check it out, man. I'll come down there. Then you get home like, man, I ain't doing that shit. I ain't come.
Brother do that stuff.
Oh, Donnell was a beast.
was that
Beast.
He was
man.
a bit of beast
Boy,
since we was little.
kick like a horse, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a ninja.
Yeah.
He's definitely a ninja. So
Yeah.
He can do the start from here.
yeah, for real. No,
No,
bull.
like seriously, I
For
know.
real.
I know we grew up with
For
him.
real.
Man, don't nobody play with him,
For
man.
real. I was holding the pads one time, and he kicking the pads. You know what I'm saying? The big pad, big thick pad, holding the pads, man. Bruised my ribs was hurting for days, man. Days, like man, he messed me up by kicking the pads, man. So Donnell's a different beast, man. That's a different type of creature right there.
Okay.
For real.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? I remember I tried my hand at boxing and stuff, and then I'm like, I go to the boxing place, and then I go to the MMA place. When I'm boxing, I can only punch. But then I go to MMA, I'm like, wait a minute, I can throw elbows, I can kick, I can slam people, I can choke people, I can do joint locks, I can punch them on the ground,
Oh.
I can throw knees. So it's like, man, this boxing is dead. I want to do this right here.
Kind of like you basically saying it's like kind of weak.
Yeah, no, I ain't saying that. I'm not saying that. I ain't saying that because boxers' hands are vicious. And nobody got hands like a boxer.
But when
know
you
what I'm
got,
saying? Vicious.
like
But
you said,
my-
I can
Punch, kick.
Right.
do anything but eye gouge.
Right. Of my experience, I'm like,
Shit crazy,
I go to the
man.
boxing place and they're only allowing me to throw hands. But
Yeah.
I'm over here with Dave and them, and I'm like, damn, like I can do all this. So I was having more fun with the MMA.
Oh,
And
this
then,
was fun for you.
yeah, and then like we wearing little gloves. You know what I'm saying? So we're wearing little gloves. They're 4 ounces.
Yeah.
I ain't got them big pillows on my hands. They're only 4 ounces. So a lot of punches and stuff that boxing you can cover up. You can't do that in MMA. So some of these punches they gonna slip through. They gonna slip through that guard. You can't just you know what I'm saying. You ain't got the same you ain't got that. So it's like,
Yeah, I see
man,
you.
right. So I'm landing punches that
I'm gonna tell y'all the story.
I
This
wouldn't
shit
land.
crazy.
So that's, I fell in love with martial arts, man. I mean, I've always loved martial arts, but it's just, I had to actually bring myself to do it. But Dave was pressing me kind of like, you know what I'm saying? The elder was pressing me with the history side.
Yeah.
Dave saw something in me, man, and he was on me. And I reached out to him one day. I sent him a message, and it was like, man, it's time. I wanna try this stuff. I wanna do it. You know what I'm saying? I sent Dave a message, and he was like, come to practice tonight. I wasn't expecting him to be like, all right, you can start today type of stuff.
Right. You
When he
supposed
said,
to just watch.
I'm thinking like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, he told me to come, can I make it to practice today? I'm like, yeah. So I went, tried it out, and man, the rest is history, man. I've had over
later?
5 belts later. I've had over 40-something fights, you know what I'm saying? 20-something knockouts, so stuck with it, man.
Hey, watch your mouth.
Stuck
Watch
with
your
it.
mouth.
Stuck
When
with
we
it.
debate, hey, watch your mouth. No, but you always been cool and smooth. Respect, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
absolutely.
Respect.
Absolutely.
But you're different. I seen
I
you
know what you're talking about.
I seen them transform.
I know what you're talking about.
It was awesome, y'all. I would give you the story. I'm coming up there with Gerard. Gerard hit a punk. So they do it, you know what I'm saying? He just was starting. This is after his first fight, wasn't it?
Gerard?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
he gonna do his training. Come with me, cuz. Come watch me, man. Y'all would come watch me. I might punch the bag or something, you know what I'm saying? Get my little shit off. You know what I'm saying? Get in there. I'm just watching. I'm just chilling. They doing their little workouts, routines. There was this big dude in there, right?
Huge.
The man, when I say the man got a switch he can hit the switch. So look, he in that boom, they doing their little thing. And he telling them like 25.
Right.
So that's
right,
25%.
right.
You know what I'm saying? You're going 25 quarters. So the next drill, they kicking. Little light switch.
Dude, coming heavy.
Nah, look, yeah. He's coming in. And he telling them like, we going 50. So I'm watching Gerard.
Right.
Okay, so he was with Gerard first. At one time, Gerard like, this guy was trying to go, wait. I touch Gerard like, I'm gonna give him a little something. Got it back. Brush it off. He gets with the champ to spar. We still going 50. When I'm over here chilling, and I could see this dude aggression level is not 50%. Yeah. So he at like a 80. The champ look like he going just 25. You know what I'm saying? So he did like, he's like, okay, y'all, we only doing 50. But if you want to turn it up, we can turn it up. Now he talking to the whole class, we can turn it up.
Right.
I see him, I said, oh shit, the champ finna fuck him up. That's exactly what I said. I looked at John, I said, hey, watch this, the champ finna fuck him up. Because dude is going hard.
Going hard.
He's going hard.
Hard.
The champ start kicking. Boom! I'm like, oh shit. Like